Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the first round of playoffs of the NCP Nimbus third season. We made it. It's postseason. I mean, this is mind-blowing. It's a really cool position to be in. I have not, for long time viewers of the channel, I have only made it to a playoff scenario in one league prior, in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So this is really exciting to be in this position. We made it a lot further than I thought we were going to with the league, and I'm super excited, and we are going to keep on taking it by storm. So hope you guys are excited. If you guys are, show some love on that like button down below. This is it, man. Detroit Steel Wings have, again, not been in a playoff scenario in a long time, so I'm stoked. I hope you guys are too. We've got our work cut out for us here. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting this run. I'm super excited. The DLC actually, I think the time this video goes up, the DLC is already out, which means there is a new league starting soon. So if you guys have not already, feel free to, we're going to go full face cam. Feel free to check out some Detroit Steel Wings merchandise. So that way, if you guys are like, wow, this team did a really solid run this season, let's support them in their next league. Feel free to go on ahead. And then of course, make sure you guys pick one up, because we make it further than we are right now. You know, you guys are going to want some Detroit Steel Wings merchandise for playoffs. So again, thank you to everybody who's picked one up there. It's been incredible. It's been incredible. Thank you guys so much for your support. We're going up against my man John Jr. in the Portland Nightshaders. If you guys did not see that battle, I will link it down in the description so you guys can go check out our original week one or the original battle we had, where I feel like I had a really commanding position and I choked it all away because I hate Mawile. So we're here now. We've got a better team, and we are going to be doing, I'm going to do my best to break down the team here for you as best as I can. I'll explain a few things about the build and why I want to bring it and why we've got it. I think this is probably the longest team or the longest time it took to build a team for the league, because this is it's really difficult going up against an opponent that you've already played. The good side is that we lost the first time, so we know how to improve. When you've already put yourself in winning position, it's hard to kind of see where you might have your own flaws and things like that. So not to discredit John, he's a great battler. Go check out his channel, guys. It'll, of course, be in the description down below. Go drop him a sub. Go toss a thumbs up on his video as well as this one. We're going to start breaking down the teams. Of course, you guys are going to see some text floating on the screen in post-production to let you guys know if you guys want to avoid the team builder. You guys can hop straight into the battle and go from there. But, yeah, if you want to do that. And then if not, you guys are going to start to see the teams appear on screen right about now. My opponent's got a Sun team. This is a really, really solid team. If you're not familiar with it, we'll start breaking it down now. My opponent's has Necrozma, Weavile, Venusaur, Torkoal, Flygon, regular Rotom, so Rotom Ghost, Grimmsnarl, Mawile, Gastrodon, and Maractus. Some things to note about his team, excuse me. Some things to note about his team. I'm nervous, so I'm gassy, and I'm burping. Some things to note about his team. He has one Rapid Spinner in the form of Torkoal. He has two Defoggers in the form of Flygon and Rotom. He has 4 Stealth Rockers in the form of Necrozma, Torkoal, Flygon, and Mawile. And he has a Spiker in the form of Maractus. It's going to be an interesting matchup. It's going to be a very, very interesting matchup. We did post game. We did share each other's teams from last time. John did so out of a courtesy last time, and prior to building, I did share just a quick document of the full screen of my team. Although I do go through the team builders, it was more convenient just to see in a little snapshot than it was to sit through the whole 20-minute spiel of a team builder. But so we know how each other built for the first time, and that's going to have a large influence on how I want to build this time. The last match that we went up against, my opponent was really prepping hard for Diggersby, and I did not bring it. The first Pokemon we're bringing this week is going to be hidden below the Diggersby. Diggersby this week is actually rocking an Assault Vest with a huge power ability. We have Quick Attack, Earthquake, Fire Punch, and Knockoff, 252 EVs in attack, 52 in special defense, 204 in speed with a Jolly Nature. Now, where does that put us? So, the easy part of this, 252 EVs in attack allows us the most attack output while still hitting the speed tier that we need to. 52 special defense EVs is where we were left off after we put the rest in speed, 204 EVs in speed. 204 EVs in speed is interesting. So last time, my opponent brought a Venusaur set that hits 133 overall. It was a timid Venusaur that hit 133 overall. What does that mean? That means under Sun, he outspeeds Scarf, Alola Ninetales by 1 point. He outspeeds the fastest possible thing on my team by 1 point. So that's a great speed tier for him to hit, because if I were to bring Scarf, Alola Ninetales this week, he would need to outrun that. And frankly, I think it was 130-ish EVs timid, so he still had a tremendous amount of bulk left over to put into like some offensive capabilities. He didn't need to run timid, but he still has a large amount of EVs to play with on there. So It's a great speed tier for the Venusaur to hit. I think that if I assume Venusaur is coming, I assume it'll have an offensive role this week. It did really well last time, and I think it's going to do well again for him this week. But overall, 133 was a great speed tier for him to be at. Since we have each other's teams, in my mind, I would say, let's make sure our Pokemon hit 134, so we outspeed Venusaur outside of Sun. With that being said, he can always go up to 135, still have plenty of bulk left over, and outpace where I'm thinking, oh, 134 is going to be great. So, as opposed to hitting 134, I'm taking into consideration that he might try to creep that 135 mark, and I'm going to go to 136. So 204 EVs in speed with the Jolly Nature puts Diggersby at 136, bringing us 1 point faster than what I anticipate to be his Venusaur outside of Sun. That being said, also, the other Pokemon that we are outpacing here on the team, at 134, we are outpacing a neutral Necrozma. He needs to have a lot of speed in order to outpace us with Necrozma. We are outpacing, again, what I anticipate to be Venusaur. We're outpacing Torkoal. Flygon, if it does show up, I don't think it's going to show up. Flygon, if it does show up, will naturally outspeed us unless it's like a weird bulky set. Defensive Rotom Ghost, we are going to outspeed. He could run an offensive set, which does naturally outspeed us anyways. We are going to be faster than max speed Grimmsnarl. We're going to be faster than Mawile. We're going to be faster than Gastrodon. And we're going to be faster than Maractus. If Maractus shows up and it has Chlorophyll, it will be faster than us. But outside of that, so we are not outspeeding a max speed Necrozma, Weavile, Venusaur in the Sun, and Flygon, and a max speed Rotom. So about situationally, about 50% of his team we outspeed. Unsituation, like in the Sun, we outspeed half of his team. Outside of the Sun, we outspeed probably, I'd say, 60+% of his team, just based off of how I anticipate my opponent to build. Quick Attack is really great priority for picking off things like weakened Flygon, things like a weakened Necrozma that might be faster than us. Good damage on Weavile, because Weavile I don't think would go for a priority move in the face of a Diggersby, unless he thinks I'm Scarfed. Picking off a weakened Venusaur in Sun, picking off a weakened Flygon, things of that nature. Earthquake, in my opinion, is pretty unresisted. I don't expect Flygon to show up. I do think Rotom Ghost could show up. I don't think Flygon's going to show up when I have Hail. I don't think Flygon comes to a Hail matchup. I don't. And I also have Roserade, so I don't think Gastrodon's going to show up. Those are the two that I'm fairly confident will not show up. Other than that, it could be a combination of any of the other 8. But the 6 that I think he's going to be bringing are Mawile, Necrozma, Torkoal, Venusaur, Rotom, and Weavile. I think, if anything, Grimmsnarl gets benched for Rotom, just because Rotom provides great pivots, it provides Will-O-Wisp supports, and it's got a pretty decent speed tier. It also helps out with spin blocking for rocks on Torkoal, Necrozma, or Mawile. Earthquake hits everything again except for Flygon and Rotom. The Fire Punch is really good Sun support damage against things like the Venusaur, and against things like the Maractus that naturally kind of resist the ground type moves. So having that boosted in the Sun can always help. And then Knockoff's just really nice for being able to remove items. Last time he did bring, I believe it was Charcoal Venusaur. He brought just a few other niche items that might be able to help us out in our time of need. So that's going to be Diggersby. I think Diggersby is going to show up to this match and put in a lot of firepower. The next Pokemon that we're bringing on the team is going to be Kevin, the Rotom fan. He is your biggest fan, as he has mine. I got to make sure my Kevin has, I got to make sure that my Pokemon all have nicknames, because I don't think I nicknamed some of these prior to the battle. So we're going to need to double check that. But anyways, Kevin, he's your biggest fan, as he is mine. He's bringing his glasses this week. He's got his Choice Specs. I don't think I've brought Choice Specs Rotom to a match thus far. And I think it's a really solid matchup for it. Again, I don't see Gastrodon coming. I don't. I don't think a Pokemon 4 times weak to grass shows up on a team where I have a Mawile. And I don't think it shows up to a Sun matchup. That's just my thoughts. I don't think Gastrodon's going to show up. If it does, that does provide as his ground immunity. And again, Flygon. I don't see Flygon coming into play. If Flygon does show up, that is good, because if it is locked into a ground type move, if it is choice locked into a ground move in any way, we do have a ground immunity here. But I don't see either of them coming. So I think Choice Specs Rotom is going to be our best bet. We have 44 EVs in HP, 252 EVs in special attack, 212 EVs in speed with a timid nature. With this, we are hitting 146 over us. 252 gives us the most damage output. The 146 allows us, or the 212 EVs in speed bring us to 146 overall, which means even if he brings max speed timid Venusaur, we do outspeed that outside of Sun. We are also outspeeding max speed Necrozma. We are outspeeding Torkoal. We're outspeeding Grimmsnarl, Mawile, Gastrodon, and Maractus. Weavile naturally outspeeds, Flygon naturally outspeeds, and Rotom Ghost naturally outspeeds. So those are the Pokemon that we cannot outspeed. We're outspeeding everything else and being able to hit those things with choice specs. The dual stab really does great to his team. Volt Switch is great for momentum. Air Slash has that 30% chance to flinch. Discharge has that 30% chance to paralyze, and it really just goes unresisted as far as it goes. He doesn't, outside of Mawile, he does not have he doesn't have a flying resist. He does not have a flying resist after that. So being able to toss off choice specs Air Slash is going to be really, really nice. We have Defog because he does have 4 Stealth Rockers, and then again, Discharge helps out with a little bit of speed control late game. I don't think there's anything too crazy to say about Rotom Fan. I think Kevin comes in and just kind of clicks buttons and hopefully does that. Unless I see Gastrodon or Flygon, Rotom is our dedicated lead of choice. The next Pokemon we're bringing on the team is Sub-Zero, the Alolan Ninetales. He is rocking the Light Clay with the Snow Warning ability, Aurora Veil, Blizzard, Freeze Dry, and Moonblast. 36 EVs in HP, 252 EVs in special attack, 220 EVs in speed with a modest nature. With 220 EVs in speed and a modest nature, we are hitting 157, which actually here, let me pull this up. I might need to rerun this. We're supposed to be hitting 158. Let me redo this really quickly. Good thing this is why we go over our teams prior to. 228 EVs in speed, excuse me. 228 EVs in speed with a modest nature allow us to outpace Rotom Ghost, Grimmsnarl, Mawile, Gastrodon, Maractus, Torkoal, Venusaur, and Necrozma. Weavile and Flygon are the only 2 things faster than us. I don't think Flygon's coming again, so I wanted to outpace the next fastest thing on his team, which is going to be Rotom Ghost. Aurora Veil with Light Clay is going to be really beneficial against a Sun matchup. The Blizzard, just being able to toss off Blizzards is always going to be really nice. Freeze Dry is super effective damage against the Gastrodon, and Moonblast is also really good to hit Pokemon like the Grimmsnarl as well. I am going to want to go back through here and just make sure that some of these Pokemon are correct. So, good thing this is why we do team builders ahead of time on here. Let me just double check that. 150, boom, 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 boom. So, Veil support is really nice. I like being able to change the weather up because I think I need to bring my own weather against Sun because I don't want those Chlorophyll Sweepers to go through and kind of do things to me. So, that being said, next up here, we do have Plague the Toxapex. Plague is bringing a very similar set to the last time we played. Max Special Defense. We have Black Sludge with their Generator ability, Haze, Recover, Poison Jab, and Knock Off. 252 EVs in HP, 252 EVs in Special Defense, 4 in Defense with a Careful Nature. This is to help out against Growth Venusaur in the Sun, so we can haze this thing to make sure that it does not get as many boosts as it can. And then last time we ran a special set, which got walled by Sub-SD Weavile, which was really interesting. So I wanted to bring a set that had better odds against something like that to set up if they do anticipate to just... I brought Scald on Toxapex every week. So we're not bringing Scald this week. We're bringing Poison Jab and Knock Off. Poison Jab has a 30% chance to poison the target. Knock Off does extra damage as far as removing items, and it's always nice to remove those items. Recover gives us a little bit more skin in the game paired with our Black Sludge and our Regenerator. The next Pokemon we are bringing on the team, I really love this set, and I'm hoping this is the set that I always hope works. We are bringing Alexandria the Scrafty. She is rocking her Roselli Berry with the Moxie ability. Counter, Brick Break, Knock Off, and Fire Punch. We have 244 EVs in HP, 60 in attack, 4 in defense, 4 in special defense, 196 in speed with a Jolly Nature. This set is made to lure Grimmsnarl into attacking me and then absolutely messing it up. I don't see a world... So 244 EVs in HP gives us the most amount of HP while keeping an odd number for hazards. 196 in speed allow us to outpace max speed Adamant's Grimmsnarl. It has Prankster, so I don't see the need for him to run that much speed when he can already just have Prankster moves and a good natural bulk. But we do also outspeed max speed Jolly Mawile. The 60 in attack is what we had left over, 4 in defense and special defense because none of your EVs want to go to waste. This set is to take a Spirit Break from Grimmsnarl, turn around, or fighting move of choice, turn around and go for counter and bring it down low. Now, counter has negative priority, so what I want to do here is I want to be able to take a Spirit Break from Grimmsnarl, either through screens, if I have my Aurora Veil up, or just in general with the Roselli Berry, and I want to turn around and click counter and knock it out in one shot. If by chance I don't knock it out in one shot, I am naturally faster than this thing, so because of counter's negative priority, what it's going to do, he's going to attack me first as I go for counter. Because he had priority the first time and he went first, he might think he can pick me off with another one. I'll naturally be faster and can go for something like a Brick Break or a Fire Punch, something like that, in order to finish up the job there and take out and finish off the Grimmsnarl after from there. removing any screens that he may have gotten up with a brick break, things of that nature. That's my plan for this. We did not bring Intimidate this week. I don't think Intimidate was the world's biggest factor last time we played. I think bringing Moxie is going to be better because what we end up doing is we force in a switch of something that now has to make sure they can revenge a +1 Scrafty. And the only things that can really do that are things that naturally outspeed us. So things like a Necrozma with the proper coverage, Weavile, Venusaur in the Sun, what else on here? Flygon, Rotom, things like that. And when those things come out and revenge Scrafty, that puts us in the driver's seat because then we get to bring in our Pokemon that is an answer to those, and we can get back on putting on offensive pressure. That's going to be Scrafty. I think it's a really interesting set, and I'm really hoping that it's going to work. We got to pull out all the stops this week. The last Pokemon we are bringing on the team is going to be CBAD Bless the Jirachi. They are rocking their leftovers with Serene Grace. We have Psychic, Flash Cannon, U-Turn, and Toxic, 252 EVs in HP, 132 EVs in defense, 124 EVs in speed with a bold nature. Now, this Pokemon helps out a lot with Venusaur outside of Sun because without Sun, Weather Ball is a normal type move, and we resist its dual stab. It could carry a coverage move if need be, something like Earthquake or Knockoff, but other than that, it's not really doing too much to us. So we have more in our defense. The 124 EVs in speed do put us in the same range as what I talked about with Diggersby, where we're trying to outpace Venusaur outside of Sun, like thinking ahead a turn or two. The 132 EVs in defense is just to maximize our overall bulk to be able to take hits from things like Necrozma and Weavile, as well as potentially Flygon and Mawile. And then Psychic, and then 252 EVs in HP to give us the most overall bulk. Psychic and Flash Cannon are really good. Flash Cannon hits the Necrozma, Flash Cannon hits Weavile, Psychic hits Venusaur, Psychic hits Torkoal, Flygon, Rotom, Flash Cannon hits Grimmsnarl, Flash Cannon hits Mawile, Psychic hits Gastrodon, Psychic hits Maractus. So really good to have. Toxic can help wear down some of those bulkier Pokemon, like a setup Necrozma, like Torkoal if we can catch it on a switch. Things like Gastrodon as well if we end up having a 1v1 it, Maractus, things of that nature as well. So that is going to be the team. It is a very interesting team. I do need to make sure that I get the both the Rotom and the Alolan Ninetales patched up before the match to make sure we've got everything in place. But that is going to be the team. Again, hope you guys have enjoyed that. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the team in the comment section down below. And all that being said, we're going to hop right on into the battle. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with technically week 13 of NCP Nimbus Season 3. This is the quarterfinals. We made it all the way to playoffs. I did a little bit of a heartfelt speech prior to, but this is the first time I've been in a playoff situation since Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which is super fantastic for me. And I'm super grateful for all the support you guys have had for the team. Don't forget to pick up some merch. By the time you guys are seeing this, the DLC has already dropped, which means our next league is getting ready to get underway. So have this for supporting of the championship, and of course have it to support the next league, the Breedject Battle Royale. Super very excited to get up in that. You guys see the 6 that I am bringing right there: Diggersby, Rotom Fan, Ninetales, Toxapex, Scrafty, and Jirachi. You guys see the 6 that I think my opponent is bringing: Mawile, Necrozma, Torkoal, Venusaur, Rotom, and Weavile. Our dedicated lead, unless we see Flygon or the Gastrodon, is more than likely going to be the Rotom. But without further ado, we're going to press A at the starting signal and see what my opponent is bringing today. Of course, go check out my man John Jr. if you haven't already. If you're not subscribed over there. Oh, we actually see both ground types this time. All right, so this changes things up a bit. I don't see Mawile, and instead I see Gastrodon. And I don't see Rotom, and instead I see Flygon. Okay, so that makes me... I don't know what that makes me, actually. I don't know what that makes me. Let me figure out what I want to do here first. Because I didn't bring Roserade, which is a big problem. Not the biggest problem. Not the biggest problem. Then we don't see Rotom, and we see the Flygon. Let's get that. I'm actually surprised. I guess Gastrodon in a perfect world, I guess I could see showing up. I guess ultimately I don't think I would have seen the Flygon showing up. I still think I'm gonna lead Rotom. I'm gonna lead Rotom. He does have the ground immunity with the Flygon, though. We do have Quick Attack, which will help out because it's not like the world's it's not like the utmost bulky Pokemon around, so we'll kind of see. A Torkoal lead could be really good, and a Necrozma lead could be really good. Depending on how he wants to lead off and how he wants to play that, we might just toss off some Choice Specs Air Slashes and see where the wind takes us, because he didn't bring Mawile, so having that can definitely help us out. The Gastrodon more than likely having Storm Drain. Let me fill out the team here. Necrozma, Prism Armor, Torkoal with Drought, Venusaur with Chlorophyll. Flygon with Levitate. And he leads off with Old No Name, which is the Necrozma. Okay, and then he's got Weavile with the, more than likely, the Pressure. So, Rotom Fan leading up against Necrozma. If it is a max HP variance, Volt Switch is doing about half, which I'm fine with. I think that's what I'm just going to go for. I do outspeed this thing. If he switches out into one of his ground types, that's fine by me. And the battle was canceled. Okay, well, let's see what exactly happened there. All right, so we are back, and funny enough, my opponents actually brought their last week's team against me, and it was just an unfortunate set of circumstances. So we ended up deciding that we are going to rematch, and we are going to go with the same leads as we did last time. So the good news is my opponent has no ground type on their team, which makes my Rotom lead a lot better. We did offer, I did say, since all we knew about each other's teams were the leads, that I would like to go with the same leads, and John agreed to that. So with no ground type on my opponent's team, my opponent now has Grimmsnarl and Mawile in place of the gosh diggity darn, what's it called here? Gastrodon and Flygon. So that makes Rotom a lot more free. Like I said, I did ask if we could use the same leads, since he obviously knew I was leading Rotom and he went with Necrozma. He said, sure, that's a fine answer. So, you know, that's perfectly understandable given that he knew my lead. So we're back here, back in the saddle. Cue up. What is that? Bon Jovi? What is that? And then Mawile, I probably would imagine would have Intimidate, but he's going to lead off with the Necrozma again here as I lead off with Kevin. And we are going to find ourselves in a similar situation where the gosh darn Volt Switch is doing a heck of a lot of damage. 50% to max HP. So, well, a little less than 50% to max HP. So, we could gamble a 30% roll, but I don't want to get, like, knocked off or something. And I think he'd probably just go for rocks, if anything, right here. So, let's see what he wants to do. We'll get a good scout in. I'm going to get a Choice Specs Volt Switch off. That is going to be doing about half. So, we did get... He could have been high rolled and not had as much HP. He could honestly just go for rocks. I have no issue going... If he's not that max HP, he might have a lot of HP involved. I think if he... Necrozma gets knockoff. Is that right? I feel like it should. It does get knockoff. So I don't know if I want to go out into... you know what? Let's go out into... I need to keep that healthy. Let's go Jirachi. Let's go Jirachi here. And see what he wants to go for. He goes for Brick Break, actually. So he might have anticipated the Scrafty to want to switch in on a Psychic type move. That's fine. We do have U-turn momentum, and he had a lot of... that was a lot of damage that he just put off on us. So with that, U-turn's going to be doing quite a bit of damage. I can also go for a Flash Cannon here. I can also pretty freely toss off a Toxic if I want to on this thing to kind of get it on the timer. But I think I'm just going to U-turn and keep up the momentum. I'm just going to go for a U-turn to keep up that nice momentum. Now, if he were to go for a knockoff, what is eligible to be knocked off here? I like Kevin's specs. Maybe... Don't want him to knock off Alexandria's Roselli Berry, especially since Grimmsnarl is around. Let's go on to Tox Specs. Let's go on to Tox Specs and see what he wants to go for. He's got the knockoff, cool. Goes for Moonlight. Okay. Fine by me. Fine by me. I can get a knockoff on this thing. He can get a Photon Geyser off on me. Which is going to hurt, but I'm going to be able to knock off whatever his item is. Oh, he got Dragon Dance. That's not good. That's not good. Interesting set. Please don't say please say I knock off like a weakness policy or something. Lumberry, okay. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. So, a +1 Photon Geyser to Toxapex. Let's see here. Necrozma, Dragon Dance. If he's got Photon Geyser at +1, we do live that, provided he's jolly and not adamant. I think I'm going to go for... I think I need to risk that and go for haze. He just brick breaks again. Okay, that's fine. We take a +1 brick break. No problem. We're going to haze this thing down and get our recovery back. All right, so we know Brick Break, Moonlight, Dragon Dance, and now I do want to switch out, probably back out into Rotom Fan's probably pretty good. I feel like he would have knocked off there as opposed to Brick Break. But let's do that. So that makes me think either Mawile or Torkoal are carrying rocks. Moonlight, Dragon Dance, Brick Break. I feel like it'd have to be like Photon Geyser. He withdraws. Okay, so that puts us in a good position here. Goes out into Draciel, which is the Torkoal. Okay, so this does give us a pretty big hit off with the Rotom. Specs Discharge does about 66 to 78 to this thing. And I think I'm just going to Volt Switch out. Get some big boy damage off on Torkoal. Could go for rocks. Definitely could go for rocks. This will kind of give us an idea too if it's like specially defensive at all, if it's more bulky, if it's like max HP, max special attack. Well, you don't really run speed on Torkoal, you know? He might switch this thing out too because he wants to keep his Sunsetter healthy, because I think that was a big thing last time, is that we just put so much chip damage off on there. Yep, so going for Volt Switch is going to be our better play. As he goes out into Rupert, which is the Venusaur here, we're going to get a big Volt Switch off on this thing. Get some big boy damage off. And now what I get to do is bring in our Ninetales to set away that Sun. We get to take away that Sun and bring in Ninetales. This is doing about 49 to 58 if he's like Yachi Berry. I don't know if he'd be Yachi Berry on this set. I can just toss off a Blizzard pretty nicely. I also can just get up our Aurora Veil, and I think Aurora Veil is going to be the safer of the two plays there in case he is some sort of Yachi Berry set. He does withdraw, though, probably going back out into Torkoal. Goes out into Draciel. Yep, here we go. So we are going to be able to get our 7 turns of Veil up. He does have Brick Break on the Necrozma. He might also carry that on Mawile and Grimmsnarl as well, but... oh, we actually don't get our Veil up, so that was a really good play on my opponent's part here. I'm going to switch out into Toxapex. He knows I've got Veil now, which is unfortunate, and we get to see what kind of moves my opponent wants to go for here. Goes for Fire Spin. Interesting. Okay, so he's going to trap me. Okay. Now, he has seen that I do get knockoff, though, so I'm curious what he'd want to go for here. I'm going to knock off if he is Heat Rock. I'm going to get rid of that. Leftovers. And he's got Curse. Oh, boy. Curse, Fire Spins, Torkoal? Do you have Earthquake as well? I mean, I have Haze, so I'm going to be faster than you. I'm going to be a little faster. Let's just click Haze. I'm not trying to take a +1 Earthquake. Fire Spin, Curse. I'm bringing out all the stops this week with the tech. I got to admit. There's the Curse again. Okay. He's gonna lose his own Sun, and eventually I'm not going to be trapped. Eventually, I'm going to get untrapped. I'm surprised he hit the Fire Spin. I mean, like, good for him. But again, I'm just going to Haze. Torkoal has base 85 attack, so I'm not too worried about what he wants to do to me as a Torkoal, or as a Torkoal into as a Torkoal and a Venusaur and a Toxapex, whatever he may be. I don't think that's what he'd want to go for. So I'm just going to keep hazing these stat changes away if he wants to waste his own Sun. That's fine by me. Goes for the Earthquake there. There's the 4th move. Okay. Cool beans. I get to recover here, though. Sunlight goes away. So I am... if I'm freed from Fire Spin this turn, I might go for a Poison Jab. I'm not. Okay. So my best play here is to click Recover. let's see what he wants to do. It's interesting that he brought Moonlight on Necrozma as well, especially given that he's got Sun, because I feel like Moonlight is hindered by Sun. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Let's see. Is he going for another curse? He goes for Earthquake again. That's fine. So I do get to get a Poison Jab off eventually. 141 to 93. So that's doing about 50 to us. After Black Sludge, we're going to be out of range of a crit. Or an old school crit. And we're freed from Fire Spin. So I'm just going to go for a Poison Jab. I'm going to try to get a little bit of chip damage off on this thing. Leaking him down as much as possible. He withdraws. And he's going to go out into Snitch, which is the... Ooh, it's the Weavile. So Weavile's not going to want to take this Poison Jab. I brought Poison Jab just for you, big dog. I brought Poison Jab just for you, big dog. Now then. I think... let's see. I think I need to recover here. No, I'm going to knock off his item. I'm going to knock off his item. He Swords Dances. Okay, so he brought Swords Dance Weavile again. We're going to get rid of whatever item he had, which was the Lumberry. The double Lumberry. Interesting. Okay. Now then. Something's about to take a knockoff from a +2 Weavile, and I don't know what that is. I think Sub-Zero might be my best bet, but that gets rid of my weather. I've got Pokemon to help with... I think it's going to be Alexandria. Let's go Alexandria here. Let's get our recover back. There's the knockoff. So we're going to be able to take that. He's going to knock off my Roselli Berry. In a perfect world, I'm just going to go for a Brick Break right here and knock this thing out. But he's probably about to knock out my Scrafty. There's the Brick Break. Weavile KOs Scrafty with Brick Break. Now then, how much was Diggersby doing to Weavile? With Quick Attack, 40 to 47. He's not there yet. I think I do need to go out into Toxapex here and get a little bit more damage off on this thing. And I think Toxapex at +2 is able to take that. Let's see. It's going to hurt, but I am going to be able to get a Poison Jab off here. I can also go for a Haze, if that's more beneficial to my cause, which might be the case. Let's do it. Let's go for Haze. There's the knockoff. Oh, we live on. Knocks off my Black Sludge. That's fine. I'm going to be able to Haze this thing down. And then on the switch, he might choose to go for a Swords Dance. I think I need to put myself in the best winning position here and just click Poison Jab. If that is the case. Just so I make sure that Diggersby can knock it out with a Quick Attack. There's the knockoff again. Weavile's going to knock out Toxapex. And now I can also go out into Ninetales and click Moonblast, I'm pretty sure. We've seen knockoff, we've seen Brick Break. It could have Poison Jab as well. I think Jirachi might be the best play here. Jirachi against Weavile. Knockoff is not killing us. Let's go on to Jirachi here. He could also... he might have seen... He's already seen Leftovers, so... That might not be the case. I'm just going to toss off a Flash Cannon here. U-turn does not knock it out. And I don't want to risk that. There's the knockoff, 60 to 72. We live. And we are going to be able to Flash Cannon and knock this thing out. Jirachi KOs Weavile. So we're in a little bit of a predicament, but we still have a lot of our heavy hitters. We still have a lot of our heavy hitters. It's 4 to 5. 4 to 5. We're in a decent position right here. Let's see what he wants to go out into. Not the situation I wanted to be in, but it's a fine situation. We know this thing has Brick Break, Moonlight, and Dragon Dance. I am just going to go for a U-turn here. I don't... Would he Brick Break right here? Let's see. I think what I... Brick Break, Moonlight, Dragon Dance, blank. He could just go for a Dragon Dance, frankly. I think what I need to do... How much is... Diggersby doing to Necrozma? Quick Attack's doing 24 to 44. That's not enough, unfortunately. Let's get Sub-Zero in. Let's get Sub-Zero in to get some Hail Chip damage, so that way Quick Attack can do a little bit more to this thing. There's the Dragon Dance. We've seen Photon Geyser, which... wrong Pokemon. We've seen Photon Geyser. He also gets Brick Break. Or we haven't seen Photon Geyser necessarily, but it definitely could be a play that my opponent goes for here. I think I need to just click Blizzard to knock this thing out. And he just Moonlights. Okay, that's fine by me. He's not going to enjoy that too much, because with the Hail up, I don't think Moonlight's doing as much damage as he'd like it to. Especially with Blizzard going for that much damage, yeah. So I think what I want to do here... I think I just Blizzard again, frankly. Because he might have thought me to go for Aurora Veil instead, but he can just Brick Break it. Like, that's fine. I'd imagine he's got Dragon Dance, Brick Break, Moonlight, Photon Geyser are his moves. I would anticipate. He's got a Steel move or a Poison move, you know, so be it. Hail's going to be able to knock this thing out. He withdraws. Okay, probably going out in a Torkoal. Draciel, okay. He's going to get the Drought up here. As I go for a Blizzard, and I do not connect in the Sun, which is fine. I am now going to take this opportunity to go out into my Diggersby. I don't think he's got Lava Plume. We've seen Fire Spin, Curse, and Earthquake. So I'm going to go out into Diggersby here. And now he goes out into Rupert. And Rupert has some chip damage on him already. Which is interesting, because as a Chlorophyll Sweeper in the Sun, a modest Life Orb Venusaur can actually not knock me out, but Fire Punch in the Sun is going to knock him out. So that's what I'm going to go for right here. He just Weather Balls. That does 50 to 59 to AV Diggersby. Fine by me. We're going to take that, and we're going to turn around and Fire Punch for big boy damage, and that is going to knock out Venusaur. Yes! Diggersby KOs Venusaur with Fire Punch. So a lot of his fast threats are really gone at this point, which is fantastic. He has left, let's see. So we've taken out Weavile. Necrozma's pretty low. Necrozma's in range of Quick Attack. We've taken out those two. He has Grimmsnarl, Mawile, Torkoal, and a weakened Necrozma left. So we need to see what Grimmsnarl and Mawile want to do to us. I think if Necrozma comes out, Rinky Dinky. Okay. So here's Rinky Dinky, the what's it called here? Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl's Spirit Break is doing quite a bit to us, but Earthquake is doing a bit much in return. I'm going to click Earthquake on the off chance that he sets up a screen first just for some chip damage, and he actually has Substitute. So we're going to be able to break that sub. Super cool by me. And we see he's got leftovers. So he's sub-leftovers Grimmsnarl. Now, with the sun up, Earthquake is still doing more. I'm going to click Earthquake again. A max attack Adamant Spirit Break is doing 52 to 61 to me. We are going to go faster. So he is going to try to get some damage off. Earthquake might knock him out. Oh, almost. Almost. There's a Spirit Break. And we live. Awesome. Drops my special attack. That's fine. Now, I'm faster. I think I'm just going to go for the quick attack here in case he's got Sucker Punch. I'm just going to go for the quick attack here in case he's got the Sucker Punch. And see what he's doing. If he's got Sucker Punch priority, I think quick attack, because we're faster, outpaces, because we're going for priority ahead of that. If not, not the end of the world. And we are going to be able to knock out the Grimmsnarl. Awesome. Diggersby KOs Grimmsnarl. He goes out into Medusa, which is the Mawile here. And he does have the Intimidate. So he could be a similar set as last time. I see no reason why I couldn't go for an Earthquake here for chip damage. I also do like keeping this thing around for the weakened Necrozma in the back. Let's go out into Jirachi. Let's go out into Jirachi here and see what he wants to go for. I'm not trying to take a Sucker Punch if he's got it, quite frankly. And he withdraws as well. Okay, interesting. And he goes out into Draciel, which is the Torkoal. Okay, so I can put this thing on a timer. I can put this thing on a timer with Toxic. We do connect. If he goes for the Earthquake to knock me out, fine by me. And there's the Fire Spin, which does connect. So that's probably going to knock out Jirachi here. It does. Okay, Torkoal KOs Jirachi. Now, a max HP. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. So max HP Torkoal. The Diggersby. Diggersby's doing 65 to 79. I don't think that's enough. I think what I want to do here is go out into Sub-Zero, quite frankly, to get up an Aurora Veil, just in case. But we can take a Fire Spin and kind of wear this thing down with Toxic and Hail, because I think Diggersby might be able to wrap this up. So I'm going to toss that up. 7 turns of Veil to help us out. And then we can use Blizzard to kind of mitigate this. And he also can go out into Medusa right here as well. Super fine by me. We will get our Veil up. And now I think my best play, if he goes for a Brick Breaker, an Iron Head, or anything else, I guess, to go out into Rotom. And he goes for the Brick Break right there. Okay. Fine by me. I think we win with Choice Specs Discharge right here. Choice Specs Discharge to a max HP. Mawiles do 91 to 107. And if by chance it is the same AV set as last time, that's fine by me. I'm not out of the woods yet, but we're going to play. We're going to play as we need to, man. We are going to play as we need to. We've got pre-existing damage off on a lot of Pokemon. We're going to discharge right here. If he's AV, he's going to take that a little bit better. Does appear to be AV, and he goes for the Play Rough. That does not knock us out, thankfully. That does not knock us out, thankfully. Would he have the Sucker Punch? Would he have the Sucker Punch? I'm going to go back out into Ninetales here just in case he's got the Sucker Punch. Let's see. I don't think he has it because I feel like he would have went for it against Diggersby. There's the play rough again. Okay. We're going to be able to take that through the Veil. Or Veil's not even up, actually. So a little bit more hail damage. I want to say, now this is the same scenario I found myself in last time. Reverses Mawile with an Assault Vest. It was just Blizzard. Moonblast is 22 to 26. I think that's going to be my safest bet just to make sure this thing goes away. Because I want to keep Rotom around. He withdraws, probably goes out into Torkoal. Fine by me. We've seen Fire Spin, Curse, and Earthquake. I'm just going to spam Moonblast until he goes away. In case he thought I was going for a Veil again. There's a little bit more damage. There's a little bit more damage. There's a little bit more damage. We're going to get a little bit of toxic damage as well. I'm going to click Moonblast again because we're going to keep wearing this thing down. I'm going to keep clicking Moonblast because we're going to keep wearing this thing down. Oh, he's got Rest. Okay, so Fire Spin, Curse, Rest, Earthquake. That's fine. So we know he's got 2 turns of that. So that's perfect for us because that means we get in Diggersby. That means we get in Diggersby right now. So he's going to burn 1 turn right here where we can click Earthquake. He's got 1 turn right here that he just burned. He gets 2. So I'm going to click Earthquake once. It should 2-hit KO this thing. He withdraws, so we're going to knock out either the Mawile or the Necrozma here. Here it comes. All right. Diggersby KOs Necrozma. Now, Mawile, like max HP -1. Quick attack's doing 76 to 8.9. Here's the Misdusa. Okay. So I'm pretty sure he's AV. We get the Intimidate off. If he's got the Sucker Punch, I don't want to play into that. I do not. So I think what I do right here is I'm going to swap out into Ninetales. We're going to get the Hail up for a little bit of existing chip damage. And there's the Play Rough, which probably knocks us out. Oh, misses the Play Rough. That's huge. That is big, 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 big. I am going to... Now, he could switch out because he might think I'm going for Veil right here. I think I'm going to make a mid-ground and go Rotom. Just in case. Just in case. I'm going to make a mid-ground and go Rotom because he switched out into Torkoal every time. He just goes for the Play Rough. That's fine. Misses 2 Play Roughs. That's so huge, man. Oh, that's so huge. That is so, so, so huge. And I think Kevin might wrap this up here with Discharge. He's got the Sucker Punch. I think he has to go for it here and show it. It's not... Okay, so we've been avoiding that for no reason. Rotom KOs Mawile. Rotom KOs the Mawile. And now Discharge. Choice Specs Discharge should be a 2-hit KO on this thing. Let's see what we can get done here. Let's see what we can do here. He still has 1 turn of sleep. I'm going to go for my Choice Specs Discharge. Big boy damage. Yep. Rotom wins us the game. Rotom wins us the game. Let's go, Kevin. Let's go, Kevin. Discharge is going to pick up the final KO on Torkoal. And the Detroit Steelwings are going to win. Oh my goodness. We are going to win 3-0 in this matchup. Oh my goodness. I think it would have got... If he had Sucker Punch, those misses were big. And, you know, my opponent could have used Sucker Punch just a bit more to his advantage. If he didn't have Sucker Punch, then it was only just a matter of time before something got hit and sacked and switched around. But hell of a game. Hell of a game to my man, John Jr., guys. Go check out his channel. Go show him some love. This was... my chest hurts. My chest hurts, man. 3-0 victory puts us into the semifinals of playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's video. If you guys have enjoyed this battle, show some love on that like button down below. And of course, if you guys are new, feel free to subscribe for more Draft League content coming your way. All that being said, I want to remind you guys to be great and do great. And I'll see you all in the next video. Later.